got this kind of like a synchronicity, y'all. I heard belly. Okay, the Holy Spirit was talking to me about getting in shape, and so I just sat there and received the download, and then it led me to what I'm about to tell you. So hopefully we'll get more people in here and we'll get started. Okay. All right. I don't know if people are still woke on this channel. Normally, not that many people be on at night on the channel, but hopefully. We'll wait till we get at least two people in here because I can't really tell how many people are in here. I said two, and the number two popped up. Praise the Most High. So let's get started, y'all. My body is purging so much, and I love it. Okay, the fastest way to manifest. And the Creator told me that the manifestation that is really able to manifest right now is actually low body fat. So low belly. If you're trying to get a flat belly right now, this is the perfect time to do it. Now, the law of attraction is working with getting a smaller belly, getting a tighter, smaller belly. So I was told the fastest way to manifest is to actually use like math to do it. So basically, let's say that you see that like 10% of your legs is struggling and only 10% of your arms are struggling. Then you want to cut back the percentage of work you do there. You should put most of your energy into the part of your body that is the struggling, the most struggling part. Okay? The other parts are going to still benefit, but they're already doing pretty good. We often work on the whole thing when the parts that is doing really good, they're not going to suffer if you're not working on them. They're your strengths. So noticing your strengths and saying, well, really, I need to put a lot of my energy into my weaknesses. What I struggle the most with. So let's say you struggle the most with losing belly fat. So that means your diet primarily should be specifically for losing belly fat. That should be your main menu. You would have a belly fat, lose belly fat diet, not a bodybuilding, get ripped from head to toe diet. You wouldn't have that diet. You would have one that's specifically for belly fat because that is where the most blockage is at. Okay? If you're already doing pretty good in the other areas, why put so much energy there? You don't need to. Most likely, you probably already naturally doing well in those areas. So all you got to do is do the bare minimum with the other areas, and then put most of your energy into the part that needs way above the minimum. So, for example, in my diet, I realized that I was struggling with hydration. I was struggling with making sure I get my liquids in. I was pretty good with like getting my carbs, my protein. So instead of like focusing so hard on whether my carbs and my protein is exceptional, I need to try to strive for exceptional in my hydration. So, for example, today I pretty much got no more than 75 grams of protein. Now, I know some people are like, oh, that's pretty low, when actually it's not. Back in the 1950s, most people were only having about 60 to 80 grams of protein. But because I got the very bare minimum of protein, that saved me energy with eating extra meat, cooking more food. So I had more room in my stomach to put the food in my stomach that is for what I'm struggling with, and that is hydration. Okay? None of that is needed. Okay? I know if you want to do that, that's fine, but you don't need to do any of that. You just have to increase the intake of what you're most struggling with. Okay. And you will realize that you're naturally fasting. See what I'm saying? What you're struggling with giving your body, once you give your body enough of that, you'll notice that fasting comes natural. You're not even thinking of fasting. You're not even trying to fast. Because the scales is balanced in your body, you will naturally go through a fasting window. Okay? So, for example, if you're always struggling with hydration all the time and you always give yourself under the bare minimum, then of course, when you try to fast the first few hours of your day or the last few hours, you're going to struggle because there's some real struggling energy in you. Okay. But once you get the real struggle energy to be at a maximum input progress, matching the other parts of you with progress, then those windows when you would normally fail, you won't fail in those windows of time in your day. Okay? All right. Yeah, they just want to take supplements and stuff. So for example, it um normally when you're having trouble, and I can speak because I was really ripped. I was someone that had a baby and you would never think had a baby. I was in my 40s, early 40s, and I had a 20-year-old body. And I got the pictures to prove it. People literally was saying, oh, you're nothing but a kid. I would have people in their 40s like, oh, you're just a child. But I'm like, no, I'm not a child. I just got a body like a 20-something-year-old. And what I was doing was maintaining balance. See, the universe demands balance for success. It demands balance. So, if you're like, oh, I'm trying to achieve these goals, something in your eating is not balanced. Whether you need to up your hydration more often, or eat some more protein, or you're doing too many carbs, something, and you have something that's a really great weakness, or more than one area. My two weaknesses, which I recently discovered, it was excess carbs and not enough hydration. So once I got my carbs down to 3 servings a day, where it's like I make sure that I got most of my protein in before I had my carbs, because my struggle was, if I didn't get my grain carbs, if I didn't get my protein in a high amount, I would end up eating more carbs and then would not have enough protein in my day. See, and by the end of the day, I'm hungry again. So for me, I had to make sure that my body gets plenty of protein on the first meal. And I actually separate my carbs, isolate my carbs, since they were struggle energy. My grain carbs was my struggle energy. So, and they were causing a boomerang effect where other areas of my diet was starting to fail as well. You know, a drowning man always want to take somebody with them. So my struggle with my carbs was ruining my protein intake and ruining my hydration. So I figured out it was the carbs I had to really fix first. Actually, my doctor kind of figured it out through blood work with me and talking to me and working it out in 2 meetings. But I realized that I had to make sure that I'm very mindful of my carb grain intake, and that I don't consume that first, because then I'll make excuses for my protein intake. So to make sure that I stay on track, I give myself my protein first in a high amount. And then when I eat my carbs, I'm not going to go over my carb intake requirement, because my protein is the leading energy fuel. See, you know how they say how you start things do affect the goal progress. How you start things in your day matter, even right to the very first food you eat. Some people they load up on veggies, but we know the veggies period they're just not as abundant as meat protein, even though people like to think they are. Vegetables are primarily for hydration. So really your body actually don't your even though you've been asleep for 8 hours, your body thrives more dehydrated in the morning hours. I know that sounds wild, but it's because um, dry fasting is very abundant for losing weight. So not rushing to the hydration when you wake up is important. Our ancestors didn't have standby water in their tent. Okay, most of the time, our ancestors when they woke up, they had a dry mouth for a while, or they didn't drink a whole cup. Most of the time, our ancestors when they woke up, they did what you call mouth wetting. This that was it. Okay, which doesn't do much for hydrating. So hi everybody. Okay, bye. 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 If you're not team animal, bye. Good luck. Because I've been on the other side. I've done both. I've done both. I have spoken to vegans who clearly said they're not vegans anymore because people lie when they try to make it like vegetables can give you the amount of vitamins you need each day. Our bodies, our stomachs was not meant to be overloaded with so many vegetables. Our digestive system was not meant to be worked like that. Okay, meat doesn't make you sick unless you're allergic to it and it's non-kosher and it's toxic. Just like vegetables. Vegetables make some people sick. They make me sick. They make me sick. I get inflammation. I get stuffy nose. Every leafy vegetable makes me sick. Every acidic vegetable, tomatoes, onions, all of them hurt my stomach and hurt me and make me sick. So let's not have a battle between meat and veggies. Let's not do that in here because I can tell you right now, when I took a lot of the veggies out my diet, I felt a drastic improvement in everything about me, my skin, my stomach, everything. Vegetables fight back. They fight you. I'm not interested in eating something that is attacking my skin and my muscle, that's putting toxins through my body so strong that I'm being poisoned. So I'm not interested. I try to eat very little veggies now. There's peace in this body now, like peace. I'm not running to the bathroom all like that. I'm not like sore skin and stuffy nose and runny ears and all that type of stuff. Okay. Exactly. We were meant to eat animals, which is why even when we were cavemen, we were eating animals. If we didn't eat animals, can y'all imagine what would be happening to this earth? What would happen to the seas? We would still have megalodons and whales. We'd have whales so big they would take over our land world. There's a reason why we have to eat animals. Their population, just like why we have to die, population control. We cannot just let these animals overrun the world. That's what happened with the boar hogs. People in this one city was not hunting the boar hogs, and the boar hogs destroyed the land and the crops and was destroying everybody's property and all of that. Now, if we don't eat animals, where are we going to store all these animals? When they're breeding and breeding and breeding and breeding, where are we going to put them? Is everybody ready to be assigned a couple of animals to raise? I'm just saying. So think logical when people say don't eat meat. It makes no sense. We don't need, there's a reason why we had to start really eating fish, because if we don't, people's homes is near the sea will literally be taken over. Like the waters, the waters will have to deepen just to um host all that fish. Our beaches will be literally overran by fish. People will be walking beaches with fish, and people will have fish all around their house on the beaches. People need to learn. Okay, that's you. Good luck with the toxins. Good luck. Good luck. Okay? Don't go complaining about inflammation. Remember, you're a vegetarian. You're at risk of getting inflammatory problems from vegetables when you become middle age. Good luck with that. Okay? I don't care if doing vegetables. Look, I had maybe 2% vegetables a day, and my mind is like non-stop. Non-stop. We know those vegetables, y'all. I'm telling you, look at the other videos of other people talking about it, saying they feel like they got their life back soon as they cut their vegetables down to like a small percentage. Okay. So I'm on fire today. I'm energized. I'm full of energy. I didn't even go to the gym, but you know what I did? I cut my vegetables down to like 2%. I increased my hydration, and I front loaded my protein, and I carb loaded in the middle of the day. Like by 12 o'clock, I carb loaded. I am full of energy. Full of energy, y'all. It went over your head. It went up. Why you waking up just to dump some energy on somebody? Boy, girl, please go to bed. Get some sleep. I don't care. I don't care what you are. I'm sticking on my subject. It went over your head because you went off subject. I was talking about why losing weight and losing your belly fat, you don't need to eat vegetables. You don't even need to fast. All you need to do is fix the weakest link. That's it. Now, if y'all talk about something else, then don't say it's going over my head. What I'm saying is going over your head then. Bye. Bye bye. 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 Once you start insulting, calling me names, out. Out. You don't have to agree. Don't say nothing smart. I won't say nothing smart back. But you call me a name, you're out. Fast in a hurry. Now, as I was saying, work on the weakest link. The other stuff is doing good already. It's not like it's going to go real bad because you gave it only 10%. It's already doing real good. Okay? If you're having trouble sleeping and you're hanging on live videos to be toxic, you're going to be the one that had the belly in about 6 months. If you being toxic at this time, it's exactly why you need drugs to stay skinny. You need alcohol to stay skinny, or you're going to stay fat. Like, nighttime is like the time you don't want to be toxic. You'll wake up and you won't even be blessed with ketosis because you're toxic. Okay? All right. Shouting. There we go. Okay. All right. So as I was saying, sometimes I'll do night videos just to see how things go. I see people, they trying to get rid of their energy because they can't sleep. Them is the people that's gonna be fat. I'm telling you no lie. Telling you no lie. Um, so you got to look at you got to do like a real assessment of whatever you're doing. So, for example, if you're writing a book and you know that you're already strong at writing the book, like you already get in flow state. That's not something you should focus a lot on if you already been doing that. Like even your strengths need time to just marinate. See, you go from strength to weaknesses. Once weaknesses become strengths, then you can go back to the previous strengths. You can put more energy into the previous ones. But you want there to be close to a balance in the level of strength between your weaknesses and your strengths. You want them to be both serving you as much. That means sometimes your strengths got to take a back seat. So, for example, if you know that your strength is like your belly, then you need more gym days just working on your belly. You don't do like I do belly, arms, and legs every time I go. Your belly is like the last person in the line. So actually, you should have days where it's like just your belly. You put all your energy into that only. So like maybe you go to the gym 4 days a week. So 2 days a week is like just all belly. All the machines you go on is all belly. Every exercise you do is for belly. That's it. You don't work on nothing else. The other 2 days you can maybe work 10% on your weaknesses, but still 90% on your I'm sorry, 10% on your strengths and then 90% on your weaknesses for the other 2 days. So once again, the first 2 days can be like all only on your weaknesses only. The most weakest of weakness. That's the only one you work on. All your energy goes into that only. Then the next 2 days, 10% of your energy, a brief workout or a brief work into your weaknesses. But the other, in your strengths get a 10% and your weaknesses get a 90. Okay. Okay, all this dumping racial stuff, I'm about to report this person because they're just like posting racist stuff over and over again. Okay. So I reported them. There they go. This will literally make you manifest fast because there is no such thing as a perfect manifestation. So if you're trying to like work on your weaknesses as much as your strength, you think that you're going to achieve perfection. But it doesn't work that way. Okay? Normally, I don't know what's going on here, but I've had enough. I'm going to go ahead and report their whole account so I can get them banned because this is ridiculous. Let me see. Spam. I'm trying to find where I can report them for spam. If they post again, I'm going to leave one of their comments so I can just report their entire account. This way they cannot post on YouTube no more, the whole account. I'm going to get the whole account blocked because I keep on hiding them and they keep posting anyway, which means somehow they're getting around YouTube block. So I'm going to, sometime tomorrow, I'm going to look up that account and I'm gonna get the IP banned by YouTube. Let them know that nothing I did would keep this person from spamming. Okay. I'm not leaving, so you can keep spamming all you want. You're wasting your own damn energy. You're just wasting your own energy. That's all you're doing. The fact that I hid this person from the channel and they're still able to post just goes to show. Here we go. Somebody keeps posting a racist comment saying neck bones or whatever. That's racist because I don't eat neck bones. I don't do soul food. So that was a racist comment that didn't even apply to me. But they keep on posting that, which shows racism. It shows, it shows racism. All right. Somebody keeps on posting a different account and just spamming. I swear, I'm gonna get their whole IP block. They're not gonna be able to set up no additional accounts when I'm done. Somebody is like, I'm blocking this person, but they're just like keep on setting up another name. So I'm gonna make sure that they cannot post on YouTube at all because they should not be able to keep setting up multiple names, even though I hid them from the channel and I blocked them. So obviously they're getting around YouTube's filter system, which means their whole IP needs blocked. I am moderating the comments. They're setting up multiple names. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right, y'all. They're trying to get me. They want me to crash out. Waste your time. You're wasting your time. You can just keep posting if you want. I'm not crashing out and I'm not leaving. I have nerves of steel. You will be burnt out before I will be. Period. You're gonna spam until you just get exhausted. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do. I noticed there's a trend where people want to crash out minorities. I noticed like people purposely attack minorities when they got hate towards minorities and they want to see the minority person crash out. And often it is middle-aged black women they want to crash out. They want LGBTQ to crash out. I think it's like covert way of attacking minorities. Okay. So, yeah. I noticed that people that's jealous of you, they always try to get you to crash out. People that are not on your level or who can't keep up with you, they always try to get you to crash out. And it'd be like, don't waste your time. But yeah. Some people can't even go to bed unless they beat somebody up. They go, I think beating somebody up emotionally, mentally is like, for some people, is no different than having sex. They're psychopaths. People that beat up somebody mentally for no damn reason is a straight up sociopath, psychopath, and this like their way of having sex when they can't have sex. Yeah, exactly. They think they're doing their little racist club justice. They think that they did their job for the day in their hate group. Well, I served the KKK today. I supported my fellow KKK members. I found someone black to attack on YouTube. They don't want to join the KKK and white supremacists because, people might know they won. So they sit here and just get all hot and bothered by the fact that they could find some random black person who don't know who they are to do KKK's job and sit up there with their little racist, hateful room, praising the Grand Dragon, saying, hey, I serve you master today. How did I do? They think the KKK can hear them. They somehow think they'll get benefits spiritually by serving the KKK, even though the KKK don't even know who the hell they are. The KKK don't even know who they are, but somehow in their sick mind, they think they're getting some benefit. Like they think they are doing America some sort of spiritual justice. It's wild. It is wild. Even with these Karens and all that on and out here in these streets, they really do think that they doing America some justice. Like they really do believe that. That's what's crazy. Like back in the day, people was like not that bold to be like that. Back in the 90s, you might get your teeth knocked completely out your mouth immediately. Like just even thinking you can like come out of minority. Like, yeah, like, back in the 90s, they really didn't care if you was white, black, Chinese. If you crossed the line, you crossed the line. But now these people nowadays, they think they protected by the devil. They think the devil is stronger than God or something. They really think that. I think because things are like going the way they are with the country and stuff, I think they think that they're protected, but it's like the wicked politicians don't even know about you. They don't even know your tax dollars. They don't even know you. Like, so why are you think you're doing your low vibe politician work? Like, they think that what they're doing out here, the racist stuff, is actually reaching Congress or something. It's like, wow. It's wow. Woo. These is desperate times when people think that they can win in society, that they'll win a lot of people over being hateful. Even though it keep on backfiring, they still keep trying. Some people, they don't know how to do anything but hate. Like, I know people like that just spend all day just hating on people, just hating, hate. And it's like anybody can hate. Like, you're not special because you're hating. Like, like people who are so comfortable at hating think that they're special. Like, see, I can hate on everybody. I'm not afraid. I can hate on anybody. And I'm like, you're not special. Like, we all are capable of hating when we feel like it. If you feel like, if even divine ones, we feel like just being hateful, we can. Because we was given the ability to decide whether we will be good or evil. So it's like people don't realize, like, I could hate back. Like, we could just hate each other. I'm not hating because I choose not to hate. You're not special hating me. Like, you're not. You're. I talk about this is Victoria Unfiltered channel. So I talk about whatever I want to talk about, but a lot of times I talk about relationships in society. That's what I usually talk about at night. The nighttime videos are normally about, and the weekend videos are normally about relationships, society, but sometimes I will pop in like I did just now. And I only did this video because the portal was open. So because, the Heaven's Gate portal is open to a lot of us. And I'm just sharing what can be really manifested right now. So if you're trying to get a flat belly, if you're trying to attract a new person, this is the time to do it. This is the time to come up with a strategy. And I found out my strategy. There is a certain strategy diet that works only for you. And normally it has to do with energy. The reason why it's not working is because there is an energy that you've been struggling with for a very long time. Like maybe you've been struggling with hydrating yourself like half your life. So that is the blockage. And once you fix that, like the rest of the part of your diet is able to serve you. It ain't gonna struggle. They don't struggle sometime, or you get the full benefits of them. For example, I know with African Americans, we have often a lot of earth energy due to the fact that we have, ancestors who were slaves, who worked the land, who worked the farm or whatever. So if you're a minority, especially an African American, you actually probably need to have a designated time for your grains, and you have to hydrate more, and you have to work very hard to eat clean since your ancestors weren't given the right to eat clean. So you got to make sure that you're not eating fatty foods. One thing I found out is that fatty foods is no different than eating dirty food. Like when you eat real fatty foods and too much fat, you're no different than went outside and ate some sewage. It's like the same in your body. So what I decided to do is separate my fat. My fat intake has its own time, and I make sure whatever sugar I have during the intake of my fat, the sugar is not as much as the fat. Otherwise, there is going to be toxicity. I'll feel toxic and fatigue. So I decided to get my first round of energy is actually from decaf coffee with vanilla cream and 3 small spoons of sugar. What I found out about the 3 little teaspoons of sugar is it doesn't mess up your frequency or your mental health, especially if you have it in the morning hours, because you're going to burn through it, by lunchtime with the work and stuff you're doing or whatever. Plus that fat that you put in your morning drink is going to keep you from getting hungry. It's going to keep you from getting too hungry. But because it doesn't have the carbs and the meat alongside of it for competition, it can fully do its job in your body. I really think that fat, most of the time intake, it needs to be separate. It can't be with your meat, and it can't be even with your grains. I know people like to put like butter in their oatmeal. I really think that, I think that the type of fat has to be in alignment with whatever it goes with. So like I know that like milk, it do go with coffee, because coffee is earth energy, and earth energy can still be cow energy. It can still be cow energy. Or animals that have wisdom, like goats. So wisdom is still milk energy. So that's why milk can go with coffee, and it won't cause any toxicity. You just can't put a whole lot of milk. You would have to put enough milk in your coffee that it's like basically no more than 3 squeezes of milk from a cow's nipple, or a sip, enough to have like a shot. Like a shot of fat in your morning tea or coffee, it's like just enough to give you enough fat where you're not too hungry. And then that will allow you to wait a little bit before you have your breakfast. I really think that we've been taught wrong, where we was taught like a whole plate of food. I believe that meat is literally, it's like on its own time. Like it has to be like fully digested almost before you even, it needs to be halfway through the digestion period before you even introduce a different food group. Like if you want to be like, if you want to be on some whole nother spiritual and energy elite level, like let your meat be in your stomach at least 2 hours before you put any other food in there. Most people can't wait that long. A lot of people can. Now you can hydrate yourself, electrolyte water after you eat that meat, but literally let your stomach have absorbed a lot of the meat before you put anything else in there. I think our stomach will switch digestion tactics whenever we introduce another food in. Okay. I'm not, somebody said my wig is a mess. I'm not wearing a wig. Thank you, baby doll. How is this a mess? What's messy? So we have another 4C here, hater. This is not no wig. It's not a wig, baby. It's not no wig, baba. Not no wig. Not no wig, honey. That just goes to show that how much hate is towards 4C hair girls. That people think that our hair has to be perfectly tamed in order, otherwise it's a messy wig. You made a comment that's exactly the type of comment that somebody without 4C hair would say, or faking like they're 3A. Y'all, I'm telling you, you jealous of my hair. You wish you had thick hair. You probably bald headed. Okay, about the portal. About the portal, y'all. The portal is kind of like, it's like you don't have to like work spiritually any further. Like it, whatever ascension levels you were having, you're close enough so the portal will meet you the rest of the way. So instead of having to like keep raising your vibration is so high that the portal comes to you the rest of the way. It's like it can't resist you. And it is actually like a birth canal, basically. Like a way to get into the dimension in which your consciousness reach a certain level in which it has stronger ability at manifesting. Basically, it's like your consciousness has earned a wish to come true. So all you got to do is step the rest of the way into the portal. You most likely you have a part of you in the portal already when you sense it. You just have to go the rest of the way. Like, so for example, when the portal came for me, I actually, and you'll see it while you're woke. Most of the time, if you actually pay attention, you can feel the outward energy projection of the portal. It'll be like you're underwater even though you're woke. You'll almost feel like you've taken a drug. You will think that you're kind of high in the moment and you can't explain it because the light of the portal was so strong and so close to you that your eyes are absorbing it in your third eye. So it's like you're basically it would be you have gone past the Anubis world. You've gone through the purgatory and now you're at the gates in which the gate is open to you because your behavior and your actions has been of such high value that it would be like gold. Okay? Your selflessness and your giving and your commitment to helping society is like you are the gold that's already in the portal. So that's why it comes to you. Okay? Hi, everybody. I try not to get into many discussions about God because then I get attacked by Christians. People start coming for me and all that. Um, we call it God, but it's it's just an entity of all creation. Okay? That's what it is. It's been called many names, not just God. Okay? Um, it's the consciousness of all consciousness. um, it would be like all the colors in the crayon box, the spectrum of it, all of it. Okay? And it I don't want to get into what I know. I don't want to some things are not meant to be known. You know, people may say I'm insane, but I know what I saw. I can actually see into the galaxies in the space without going to space. And I see certain planets at different times, visions of different planets. And I was trying to see the creator, and I saw this energy entity thing. And um the weird thing about it is in all the scriptures or whatever, it never says about the color orange being a part of the creator. Orange is in the creator. There is a spectrum of orange. And I kind of think it's like a way of being not quite too bright, but not green or blue or dark either. I think orange is a color that is more, it was like coral orange, like coral that was inside the entity that I was shown as God. I'm just saying, y'all. It's not a person like a human being. It's not, y'all. Hi. Thank you very much. It's what I saw, y'all. I'm just saying. And our creator literally extracts the energy it put out in the galaxy and sends it to parts of the world, and we receive it. Like the whole galaxy is like the entity's grocery store. That's what I know intuitively. I'm a high priestess, so I know things. And when it's time for us to have certain energy and we're open to it, some of us will just receive the energy that it went shopping in a certain planet. As they say, what must go out, what goes out must come in, what goes down is up is down. It's the same thing with the creator. What is out is also in the creator. So the planets around the entity is still within the entity. And sometimes when a certain planet is in need of that specific energy, the entity will shop from a planet and get that energy, um and then release it upon the world. And those who I would say mood and character and behavior is in alignment with it will receive that energy. That energy will be able to come in. Okay? And then what that energy can create, that person will have the ability to create according to that energy, provided that they respect the energy. It's getting too deep, y'all. This is for like master classes explaining how it works. Okay? This is getting too deep, but um, the entity is in the shape of an eye, almost like a eye. Okay, the entity is shaped like an eye seed. You know, like when you see a seed, it has a certain symbol that we have seen in Egypt before. Egyptians actually have it right when they have this certain symbol that sometimes they refer to, like God of gods or whatever, and they have this one symbol that they say they know is God, and that symbol that looks like an eye. They are correct with that. Okay, all right. The way the entity work, as we call God here on this planet, and then according to your religion, which was used to be called customs. Once upon a time, there was no religions; it was customs. The fact that we just didn't leave it customs is exactly why we're having religious wars. We should not have been naming. We should not have named our practices. That is where we went wrong. Should have just kept it as customs. Your custom, my custom, and it won't be religion. It wouldn't be religious battles. Um, I didn't. I see when you reach a certain like high priestess ascension level, the creator can't hide from you. That would be like hiding from somebody that's like high up on the chessboard. You know, like um a queen can't really hide from her king, and a king can't hide from her queen. So once you get so close that you're all up in your own frequency that the creator wants you to have, then the creator cannot hide from you. So if you master meditating, and there's a certain thing you got to do that will create mastery with meditation. And it doesn't mean burning candles, incense, praying, none of that. It's physical. Meditation and mediumship is physical. Okay, once you master the physical feeling, then the mediumship comes easy. And then once you are in the frequency that the creator has chosen for you, and you've been in it long enough, the creator can't hide from you. When you say I want to see you and I want to see yourself, you will see glimpses of the essence of it, or you will be able to have a minute look at it or whatever. It'll be like it's been projected in your third eye. Now, there are celestial beings that try to interfere, and they're kind of, as you, I guess people would call them, fallen angels. That's what we call them. They're trying to interfere with it, what the entity is doing. They're trying to stand between the entity and us, and they're using our free will as to interfere with our connection with the entity we call God. So this is why you'll get a lot of negative influence, and like you wonder, like, where is this coming from? Why is my life path getting real toxic suddenly? That is not God doing that. That is entities trying to interfere. Other entities, celestial beings that have left their planet and think they can hang out in the galaxy and play with, manipulate the energy flow that's coming back and forth. Now, I know people are saying, well, why don't the creator protect us? The creator do protect you by following your scripture intuitive energy. When you get that intuition to say you need to cut something off, or you need to take a break, you have to be obedient. When you are very obedient to your intuition, the celestial beings that are toxic from other planets, they they can't really manipulate you. Now, sometimes they'll send their minions to come in and come between the beyond and our world and try to corrupt us that way. And you know, some of them little minions we know is like the grays, the lizards, the goblin species. Those are like low level alien celestial beings that are kind of like scared of the larger ones. Their society work exactly like ours. Okay? The whole damn existence of life is a synchronicity. Our society is just exactly like the society that's between the beyond and us, and it's exactly like the society that's actually above earth. There's a whole war going on even above earth. But it is a celestial world war. It is the celestial beings that are trying to fight with our angel guides and our ancestors. They're trying to manipulate our energy. They're trying to work around the clean energy that our God has sent us. They're trying to work around it. And they use people who are weak to influence us negatively. Weak people, people who don't connect with God, their intuition, people who don't even give a damn about intuition. They use those people to to do their dirty work, and so that whatever our guidance we're supposed to get will be on hold or have delays. So if you ever went to like use your mediumship to look into space around people who negatively influence you, you will actually see some of the beings there, the toxic celestial beings. You will see them like hovering around that person. That's, you know, if you want to actually see the minions that are influencing people to negatively influence you, to come between you and God, the entity of all. It is true that our God don't have complete dominion over deciding what comes and goes in the dark, but it does have dominion over what punishment it will get. So the celestial beings, they're still punished too. Some of them can't go back to their planets. Some of them are stuck in the purgatory part of space. It's nowhere near their homes. And it's a part of them trying to come between into the God and us. Okay, I'm trying to break it down. Okay. So what do you believe? I don't get into the belief is what I know. At this point I know. Um I've already told y'all what pretty much happens. Um there is darkness you got to go through first. And some of us are aware that we're going through the dark. The dark was here first, believe it or not. So you got to pass through the darkness, but sometimes if you're living in fear, anxiety, or you've been too dark, then you can't get to the light part. There has to be enough light in you to get through the dark. You know, where the Egyptians call it the underworld. You are your own flashlight through the underworld. You got to go down before you go up. You know, just like when we were released from the entity, we had to go down. We have to go down to go back up. Body has to go down, and then someday the body will rise. If the, you know, when the earth shifts and everything happens in the earth, the body will rise. That's why some coffins have risen out the grave. The soul has to go down as well. We all been taught soul goes up, but soul goes down. It goes like this, okay? There's another birth canal when you die. You can't tell because it's like you can't see the edges. There's just so much space, but the edges of the birth canal is so wide you can't possibly see the edges. The rebirth canal. Um, so as I was saying, there is a place, there is something that happens afterwards. I really don't want to get too much into that topic before bed because as I said, everything is not meant to be so publicly known. But as I said in another video, no one is getting out of not coming to Earth because they don't want to. You don't even get to decide that. I don't know where that came from. Where people say, I'm not coming back. You can say you're not coming back, but if the entity say you're coming back, you're coming back. And the entity do have co-entities that decide if you're, the final decision of you coming back. The entity has, I guess, office space. has a team as well that is above the planet celestial beings as well. Okay? It's like a society on top of a society on top of a society. We might can't see it all the time because we receive so much pollution and toxicity now that we can't. But I believe a lot of the Egyptians actually could, which is why they had technology that they shouldn't have had at that time. Which is why they were figuring some things out long before they should have, and all of that. Okay. If we live in a synchronized world, we must understand that what we are here is just another replica of what's going on above us and above that until all the way to the highest of high, which is the God. Okay? And we're not the only planet with going through this. There's other planets, other species. Okay? The creator is not wasteful with planets. For us to say God created all planets and earth, but we are the only ones on this earth, is saying that God wasted the other planets. That God made planets to not be used, only ours. That's narcissistic to think like that. And that's actually an insult to the entity, that the entity, to imply that the entity would just make planets to just be out there, but not ours. Come on, y'all, let's get real here. The entity was about creating life in our artistry. If artists on this planet is thinking of creatures to draw, most likely those creatures already exist on another planet. You can actually extract consciousness and ideas from a whole nother planet. You may think that it was just, in your space, but when you travel with your mind, you don't know how far you might have traveled sometime. Your consciousness can visit any planet. You must love your consciousness like you love making sure you breathe every day. Take care of your consciousness like you take care of your baby. And you'll realize just how powerful and real your consciousness is. How it can travel just like your body traveling. Most people don't even believe their consciousness exists. They just say, well, I just know that I can talk and stuff. But they don't realize their consciousness is actually it's like almost like a cloud, an entity. You are an actual entity in a body. Your consciousness is the brain center, the power holder and releaser of your spirit in your body. So your consciousness does not need the body to travel. It doesn't even need the soul to follow right away. Eventually, the soul will go there, which is why most of the time the travel of our consciousness is normally so fast and brief. The Creator normally won't let our consciousness travel so long to a certain place because it's the risk of our soul leaving our body and not finding its way back. Our soul might get too comfortable somewhere else. So often we have limitations on how long our consciousness can travel beyond our body. Even though it may feel like it's only been a couple of minutes, when the consciousness travels in the metaphysical space, it's been traveling much longer. So, yeah. Life may be short to our consciousness and our body in this plane of existence in our body with our body, but life is pretty long when you leave your body. It's long. If you're not used to how there's more days in a minute, more time spent in a minute, it feels long at first when you cross over. But for the spirits on the other side, between the beyond and our world, they often start to feel like, unless they're like doing work for God, 1 minute feels like forever. So, for example, if we're if we're taking a minute to do something, to the earthbound spirits consciousness that did not go through and up, down and through and up, they feel like we're taking forever to do something. Even though you're like, it only took me a minute to do it. So this is why it's always better to let your intuition be your guide and not try to let some random spirit tell you what to do, because some random earthbound consciousness is in desperation. Time is very long to them if they're not, because since they're made forced to be aware of time because they're in the in between. But if they went to the beyond, they would not be aware of time at all. Okay, y'all, I'm kind of explaining this. Okay, bye, y'all. I got to get to bed. Have a good night. Bye, everybody.